Yo, so right now it's quite noisy because I'm outside, and before I go to somewhere a little bit more quiet, I want you to meet a very important item in my household. And just give me a second, let me take the camera. Okay, so a very important item in my household, and that is my generator. Yo, so this gen has been literally with us for about like 3 years, and it has tried its best. Yo, one thing I realized is that you need to have like a good generator repairer because it literally extends the life of your gen, because the gen is something that deteriorates so fast. Like the gen is so, like, I got the gen at a really great price. I think it was about 250k for a 6.5 kVA. Right now, for that kind of like power, you're looking upwards of like 600 to 700 and stuff. The struggles of being a remote worker, a software engineer working from home in Nigeria. You know that your generator is your one of your best companions. And right now I'm trying to change that because the generator is no longer, like, the gen life is no longer sustainable. The gen deteriorates. Like, you can't like rely on your gen like every single time. Yeah. And because even if you try to keep it on, the more you use it, the more it loses power. So you can't say, oh, let me plan to just buy fuel, for a long period of time, and you can afford to buy fuel and you're putting on the gen every time. The gen is not going to survive. So that's the sad thing. And I want you to meet another important item. This is not in my household, but this is in my community. Yeah. And that is, the transformer. Yesterday, just while I was thinking of recording this video, yeah, the transformer decided to stop working. I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah. So the transformer decided to stop working, and it is really sad because this weekend I was planning to do like a lot of stuff, and it's just like, man, I have to change my whole plans for the weekend just because the transformer went out. So right now the gen is working overtime, and there's only so much, like, so many hours that you could put on the gen, because the gen didn't come on because we hadn't put it on for a while because light was good. So light is not good again. I had to, bring back my generator repairing skills that I had from how many years ago. Yeah. Had to change the plug because it wasn't starting, had to change the oil, just different things for it to actually get up and running again, because it was late in the night. I couldn't get through to any generator repair at that time, so I had to do all of that, and thankfully the gen started working. But yeah, it's about that time, and we need a change. Yeah. So right now I am thinking of doing like a do-it-yourself, what you call it, solar inverter setup. Yeah. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, so I'm a bit more stable now. I went to get the tripod and put it outside. But yeah, so I decided to do like a solar inverter setup, DIY, do it yourself. But it's not in the sense of like, I'm not trying to do like any electrical work or get wires and climb the ceiling or the rooftop and put the solar panels or anything. What I'm trying to do is like actually source for the parts myself. So I've been doing a bit of research, because when I tried to do like a full I checked some of the providers that do like a full setup for you, and what I found out is like they usually cut corners somewhere. So either they give you an inverter, they'll say, oh, this is a 5 kVA inverter, but it's not like a hybrid inverter, it's just like a normal pure sine wave inverter, which you have to do you need some extra parts to make it work very well with the solar panel. And it's not straightforward. And then you look at the panels may not be like the top-notch panels. And also the batteries, you see tubular batteries, they'll pack tubular batteries for you instead of lithium batteries. And if you want the lithium, you're paying like a lot more premium, like with the full setup. So what I found is that it's best to actually get each individual items yourself, and get an installer to do it. So I have, based off of my research, I decided to go with the brand called Growatt. Growatt has been pretty much like in the solar inverter business for a long time. There's a lot of tutorials online and everything about, just debugging any issues you may have. So I think, as a software engineer, anything that has like good documentation and good debugging materials, basically, you always, navigate towards it because it's easier to solve certain problems just because other people have posted about it or just shared about it. So I'm going with the Growatt inverter. So I'm going with the 6 kVA inverter. So that's one of the advantages. I remember when I wanted to do consider doing an inverter setup. I think 2 years ago. Yeah, I think for the 5 kVA Growatt was pretty much, how much was it? I think it was like 800K at that time. It was very expensive, and to my surprise, I saw a 6 kVA Growatt inverter for like 500 and something, and I'm like, what? Because the thing about it is that the inverter is like the major brain box basically that connects the solar and this thing, so don't chip out on it. So if you can really get a good one, what I had learned is that that's what you should go for. So get a really good inverter, hybrid inverter preferably, because it's easier for it to do like automatic switching between NEPA, inverter, the batteries and the solar. So the hybrid inverter is really good. So I decided to get that, and then Growatt. I didn't know they did batteries, so they actually have a lithium battery. So I'm going with the 5.5 kilowatt hour Growatt inverter battery. Yeah, lithium battery, life, or what they call it. I can't remember what they call it on the website, but yeah. So those two, I'm going to pair them together, and that's what I'm doing for now. I'm not getting solar panels yet because one, NEPA isn't so bad. It's not like it's supposed to be able to carry me from one, like NEPA taking the light cycle to then bringing the battery charging, and then carry me to the next cycle. So because NEPA went so bad all of a sudden, I had to, challenge myself to do a setup under 1M. But I want the setup to be scalable. I don't want to do like a full setup where it doesn't carry a lot of stuff, even though it's like it has the battery, it has the inverter, and it has the solar panels. But because you have that budget, so what I'd rather do is just set up a good foundation that I can build up upon. So can I get a setup for under 1M that currently improves my current situation? And that's the challenge I had to challenge myself this period because light situation is bad, and the way it breaks momentum, the way it breaks flows, because I'm used to working with my external monitor. So whenever light just goes and you have to come out to on the gen, and the friction is just too much. Yeah. So this is for me to avoid those frictions going forward. So this is the first episode of the, software engineer versus NEPA series. I'm pretty much in a battle because yesterday, as the transformer just blew like this, it's like 1-0, NEPA 1, software engineer 0. So I'm trying to get one up on NEPA. So I've placed orders for these items. That's the inverter and the battery. So I would show you when it comes in the next episode. But yeah, so if you're also battling with NEPA, at your side, how are you dealing with it? Have you have you gotten an inverter? Are you doing solar, or are you sticking with gen? How fuel price is affecting you? Let me know down in the comment section. But yeah, so we are going to solve this problem together. Yeah, so catch you in the next episode. Peace.